Just a quick reminder before we get into the lesson to download the hands-on lab exercises that accompany this complete CCNA course. I'll include the link in the description. Also remember to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of the lessons in the course. Okay, let's get into it. In this lecture, you'll learn about multi-area OSPF through a lab demo. So in the previous OSPF labs, we've had all our routers in area 0, as you can see in the topology diagram here. So we've got 5 routers, R1 to R5. All of their interfaces are in IP subnets that begin with 10, and previously all the routers were in area 0. And let's say this scenario now is that our network has been growing and we want to convert it to a multi-area network. So we're going to have the same physical topology, but rather than having all of the interfaces in area 0, we're going to segment it into an area 0 and an area 1. Now, normally you would have multiple normal areas hanging off of area 0, but because we've only got 5 routers here, I'm just going to have an area 0 and an area 1. So routers R3 and R4 are going to be backbone routers in area 0. Routers R2 and R5 are going to be ABRs with an interface in area 0 and area 1, and router R1 is going to be a normal router in area 1. So the routers are already configured all in area 0. R3 and R4 are going to remain backbone routers in area 0, so we don't need to change any of the configuration on there. But we need to change R2 and R5. On R2, we need to put interface fast Ethernet 0/0 on the right into area 1, and we need to do the same for fast 3/0 on R5. And on R1, we need to put all of its interfaces into area 1. Okay, so let's go on to the routers. So I've got all my routers configured with OSPF. If I do a show IP route, you'll see that all the routers have got routes to all of the destinations, and they're all showing up as a type O, which is an intra-area route, meaning it's in the same area. So that was on R1. Over on the other side, R4, its routing table is going to look similar, again with intra-area routes. So let's configure our ABRs first. So that was going to be R2 and R5. If I do a show run for section OSPF on R2, I can see that it's being configured with process 1, and I've got a network statement that's putting all its interfaces into area 0. So let's have a look at the topology again. And I need network 10.1.0.0 to be in area 0 and 10.0.0.0 to be in area 1. So let's fix that up on R2. So back onto the command line, I'll go config t router OSPF 1, and I'm going to remove this network statement. So I'll say no, and then copy and paste it in, and then I'm going to say network 10.1.0.0 0.0.255.255. So all the interfaces that begin with a 10.1, and then we don't care what's after that, are going to go into area 0. And then network 10.0.0.0, and again I need to be careful with the wildcard mask here and make it 0.0.255.255. So anything beginning with 10.0 will go into area 1, but I've been careful to make sure that my network statements are not overlapping there. 10.1 goes in area 0, 10.0.x.x goes in area 1. And I'm getting an error message about a mismatched area ID. The reason for that is if we go back to the network topology diagram again, I haven't changed R1 yet. Its interfaces are still in area 0. So on fast Ethernet 00 on R1, it's area 0. On the other side of that link, on fast 00 and R2, it's area 1. So that's a mismatch right now until I've finished configuring R1 as well. That's why I'm getting the error message. But before I do R1, I'll do my other ABR, which is R5. So fast 2/0 is the 10.1/16 network, and fast 3/0 is the 10.0/16. So let's configure that next. So I'll go on to R5 and I'll do a do show run for section OSPF and give this a second to give me the output. Then router OSPF 1, and I'm going to remove this old network statement because it's putting all of the 10 networks into area 0. I don't want that. So I'll get rid of that network statement and I'll put in my new network statements, which were for 10.1.0.0, 0.0.255.255, a /16 goes into area 0, and network 10.0.0.0, 0.0.255.255 goes into area 1. And I'll get the error message again here, again coming from R1. There it is. Okay, so that's my ABRs configured. Lastly, I'll go into R1. I don't need to check the topology diagram again because I know that all its interfaces are going to go into area 1. So let's do a show run for section OSPF. And I'll remove the old network statement that is putting the networks into area 0 again. So router OSPF 1, no, and then copy and paste. And the new network statement will be, I want all of the interfaces, so they all begin with a 10, so I can do 10.0.0.0, 0.255.255.255 again, and now I'm going to put them into area 1. And now because the area does match on both sides of the link, I see the adjacencies coming up. It forms an adjacency with R5, and it also forms an adjacency with R2. Okay, now if we look at our old show IP routes, this is the one I brought up earlier on R4, and you can see that all of my OSPF routes are intra-area routes. They all show up as a typo because they all came from other routers in the same area. Now that I have configured my multi-area OSPF, if I do a show IP route, I expect that I'll see the 10.0 networks on R4 showing up as an inter-area route because R4 is in area 0, but those 10.0 networks are in area 1. So you see the difference now. They are showing up as inter-area routes. But right now, I haven't configured summarization. So before, I had my 1, 2, 3, 4 networks that were coming from 10.0, and now I've still got 4 networks coming from 10.0. So configuring different areas doesn't actually do us any good until we do the manual summarization as well. So let's do that next. So our summarization gets done again on our ABRs. So looking back at the topology diagram, on R2, I'm going to summarize all of these individual 10.0.x.x/24 networks into a 10.0/16 and advertise that into area 0. I'll do the same thing from right to left on R5 as well. Coming back in the other direction, all of the individual 10.1.x.x/24 networks, I'm going to summarize that to 10.1/16 and advertise that into area 1. So let's do that next. So I'll jump onto my ABR router R2. So on R2, the command is area 0. Range on that side is 10.1.0.0, and when we put in our network statements, we use a wildcard, but when we do our summary addresses, we use a normal subnet mask. So area 0, I'm going to summarize 10.1.0.0/16, and in the other direction for area 1, the range is 10.0.0.0, and again 255.255.0.0. And I need to do exactly the same commands on my ABR of R5. So it's going to be area 0, range 10.1.0.0, 255.255.0.0, and area 1, range 10.0.0.0, 255.255.0.0. And what I should see now is that change on R4. So before, when I wasn't doing summarization for all of the routes that were coming from area 1 into my R4 router in area 0, I was getting an individual /24 route for each of those. If I do a show IP route now, then there you can see the difference. I don't have 4 individual /24s. I've just got that 1/16 summary route. So it's taking up less space on my router, less memory, taking up less resources on there. That's the benefit we get from doing our multi-area OSPF. And just finally, I'll show you on R1, it's going to be the same thing. If I do a show IP route here, I'll just have a single summary route for the 10.1.0.0/16 routes, which are over in area 0. Okay, that was it. See you in the next section. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to get the complete course ad-free right now, then you can enroll in my CCNA Gold Bootcamp by clicking the link above my head or in the description. It also includes full study notes, quizzes, and 150 pages of additional troubleshooting labs you can't find anywhere else.